This is Ghost Pose 1. I'm going to talk about something a little bit different today. I've had some work done on the house. I'm participating in it with a friend of mine who's a contractor. And so this is a good time of year though to get it done because you can turn around and get the seed and started. I live here in upstate New York, so we have kind of a limited time between now and Halloween to get the grass growing so that it'll survive the winter. But I just wanted to, I've been watching a lot of these videos on YouTube with guys who are guys who take care of the lawn real well, or they have channels based on lawn care, specifically like Lawn Care Nut and Ryan Knorr. They seem to be the ones that, and Silver Symbol is really good too. I like how they explain things, and I can watch those videos all day. I guess I've turned into one of those guys, but I've kind of gone headstrong into doing lawn care on my own house, not specifically for content on YouTube, but I just wanted to show you something. As you can see, I'm coming around the corner here, and I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but how green that grass is compared to everything else that I was just showing you. I live on an acre of land, and you know, where a lot of those channels are tough, they can take care of their own lawns maybe in their only little postage stamps. This is about an acre of land, so it's going to be a little bit challenging to try to make everything look like this. And plus we're at the end of the year. I don't know how far I can actually get before it gets too cold, but I just wanted to show you this. I followed a lot of the tips that those guys have used. Specifically, I've aerated the grass, and I just purchased a Dethatcher, and I'll show you that right now. Somebody wants to, you know, I could have rented these machines. These are from the local Home Depot, and I'd seen a video on YouTube. I don't know who it was, but the crux of the video is you can buy used furniture, garden equipment at Home Depot. If you go on their webpage and under tool rental, they have, each store has a list of equipment that they've decided to sell, and you can usually get it. For example, I bought this aerator for $650. Now, you know, that's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but if you add up as many times as you're going to perhaps rent it, I know some people only use this once a year, but my soil was way compacted, especially where you just saw where it was green, because that was all filled in last year. And I was wondering why it didn't come back in the summertime. I should have shown you before, but it was pretty much like that, you know, where it was brown. Of course, that's crabgrass and stuff, but it just did not come back, and there were a lot of bare spots. So for me to buy this, to me, made more sense than to continually rent it for whatever it costs to rent. I didn't even price it because I had no intentions of doing it. But machine works great. It's a Honda engine. I mean, you can't really kill these things anyway. Here, I'll show you the Dethatcher. I just bought that yesterday. The Dethatcher, I paid $552 with the tax at the Home Depot here in Albany. And again, it's one of those machines that you're not going to use all the time, but and I'm not saying that's not a lot of money, but the way I was thinking was, the second choice was to buy one of those Sun Joe Dethatchers, which was an electric one, which I see get very good reviews. And but the problem is, the acreage I have just wouldn't fit with an electric Dethatcher. I would have to carry that lead all over the place with me, you know, and I think this is a better option because of being a gas motor. But the thing of it is whereas the aerator was a little bit beat up, which is to be expected because it beats the people who operate it up as well, this machine, on the other hand, is just like brand new. I can't imagine. This is a 2015. At least that's what the sticker says. And I can't believe how good a shape it's in. You know, these machines go for quite a bit of money, and I saw them locally on Craigslist for twice as much as I paid for this one. I did see one that was $650 on Craigslist, but it was in Massachusetts. I'm in New York, and it was a lot more beat up than this one is. And again, it's a Honda motor. To me, you can't do much better than that, and runs really good. At least it did in the parking lot. Haven't tried it yet here at the house, but that's in the works. So, I mean, if you wanted to buy one of these machines, the thing to do is to go on to HomeDepot.com, and up at the top left corner, I think it says tool rental, and if you scan down a little bit, it says used tools for sale. And they always have tools for sale, not just these obviously, but if you go to the store itself and ask them, first thing to do is to call the store to see if they have the ones that you're looking for in stock, because just because it shows it online doesn't mean that they have it in the store. But go to the store, and then when they look at the computer, the price often is lower than what's listed online. Now this one was exactly what I paid, exactly what was listed online, which was $512, and then of course the tax. But I think it's well worth it. I mean, I could have bought the $150, $130 Sunjoe, but you know, I don't know how long that will last. And also, I just feel better having a gas machine as well. Okay, well, part of this project, obviously this is really green, and this was really bad. And as I started to say, I dethatched it with a rake. I core aerated the crap out of it. Now, the reason I made this stand, out of a scrap 4x4 and a piece of lumber I had and some rebar so it doesn't tip over, as it's kind of leaning right now. But it was because the ground was so hard, I kept snapping off the stakes from the sprinklers. That's how hard the ground was. So I had to think of a way, not to mention these trees are not doing so great. I don't know that they're going to survive next year, but I don't think a lot of the nutrients from the ground are getting to the root system because of all the fill that we put in last year and how compact the ground is. So I've started off with aerating the crap out of this place, and then I seeded and put starter fertilizer down, and I put a Milorganite on, as a matter of fact. That's a nice, I'm a really big fan of that fertilizer. It's kind of goof proof, and since I'm a goof, I don't want to try to burn the grass. I want it to grow. So and I think that's what you're seeing now. That's why it's so green now, between that and the starter fertilizer. And the seed is finally coming to fruition now. This has been down for a couple weeks, and you can see the area where I stopped. I did that specifically because I wanted, this area was so bad even compared to this. That's why I started here. I plan to keep going, but I mean, it's just whether I'm going to have enough time. So yeah, so this is working out, and as you can see, it comes around the back of the shed. It comes all the way down here, but here's the bigger problem. This is where it gets bad, and what's happening is we've had so much rain, and since this part of my property is below grade level, it turns into a lake every storm. So a friend of mine across the street, he's got his machines, as you can see out front, and he's excavated it, and we put stone in, and now I'm starting to backfill. He's going to be over tomorrow to help me with the machines. So yeah, you'll see if how successful I am trying to continue this grass. I love it. I mean, it's sort of becoming an obsession now. This grass has never looked like this, but thanks to those guys, and you know, it was hard work. And actually, you know, one thing that I forgot to mention was that I used compost. After I aerated the grass, I went to my local farm supply house and bought compost, and I spread it by hand. I just, you know, you take a coal shovel, which I don't know if here it is right here, and you know, you load it up with the compost, and then you take your hand and just push it onto the lawn. You put a coating of about 1/4 to 1/2 inch on your grass, and then that holds all the moisture in for the seeds. And boy, the grass really liked it. I got to be honest. I mean, this grass has never looked like this. So I would definitely recommend using compost as a way of rejuvenating your grass if it's dead, because that made all the difference in the world. You can't even see it now because it's sort of, you're not putting a lot on. You want the grass blades to pop out. But I'm such a fan of compost, I've started to do this. I made this compost, I can't call it a bin because there's more than just one, but out of pallets from work. And it's two piles of compost, which are just starting out. And then I left this bigger area because some of these plants were in the way of over in that area you just saw where the machines were, and they were up on that hill where the sprinkler was. And I did not want to, I bought them as little saplings like this from eBay. You can buy a tray of 20 of them for very inexpensive, but it does take a while for them to grow. And I didn't want to get rid of them, so I put them in this really rich soil. I hope they do well here. At some point I'm probably going to want to use this as a compost area because it's so big, but for now I think these guys will be okay. But when we get some leaves in the coming weeks, there's some in that grass right there, but you need a lot of leaves to, not just grass for a compost pile. You need to have 3-to-1 carbon to nitrogen. Carbon is newspaper and leaves and such, and nitrogen is the grass. So I got plenty of that, but I'm still waiting for some leaves. There's some in there now, but then I'm going to turn this all over, and hopefully next year I'll have enough, I'm probably not going to have enough to do a whole lawn, but here and there. So yeah, it's just out of pallets and then some landscape fabric to keep it from falling through. It's simple, A couple boards to just hold the front together, but I'm probably going to have to put some kind of a door on it. But so yeah, these are all ideas I got off of fellow YouTubers, and tell you what, I'm like I said, I'm becoming hooked. So I'll update the progress that we're making tomorrow. He's supposed to be coming to help me backfill, so I'll follow up on that and some of the other stuff I got in mind. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.